5 passengers who are on a brutal journey, by Krishna's mercy.
Quote, suffering without knowledge, without remedy, is animal life. One who cannot understand that he is suffering and who thinks that he is very well off is an animal consciousness, not human consciousness. The human being should be cognizant of suffering the threefold miseries of this planet. One should know that he is suffering in birth, suffering in death, suffering in old age and suffering in disease, and one should be inquisitive as to how he may avoid the suffering. That is real research work. Shrila Prabhupada, Easy Journey to Other Planets, Chapter 2.
1. Not on the train.
Let me tell you, that was a brutal journey. We were crammed inside of a car. In this part of the world, the roads are barely there. It is like you are driving along a makeshift path, for more than a day. The constant bumping, the scorching heat, the rays of the sun, and the lack of sleep really did a number on me.
2. On the train.
Let me tell you, that was a brutal journey. I found a seat on the floor of a train cabin. The ride was almost 36 hours. So many people were crammed inside that we barely had room to move. I cannot believe I made it through the whole journey. How am I still alive?
3. In economy fare.
Let me tell you, that was a brutal journey. I had a seat on the train traveling for 36 hours. I decided on an economy seat, not realizing just how austere the conditions were. I had to sit next to 2 people the entire time. It was like we were inmates in a prison sharing the same cell. The train car was so hot. It was unbearable. The smell was terrible, too.
4. In an AC seat.
Let me tell you, that was a brutal journey. A 36-hour train ride. I had a seat in the air-conditioned section, but that didn't mean much. I tell you, I wanted to jump off so many times. Maybe next time I will stop at a hotel halfway in between.
5. In a private compartment.
Let me tell you, that was a brutal journey. A 36-hour train ride, all by myself. I managed to pull it off by booking 2 seats in the same compartment. That was how many people could fit, so that meant I was by myself. I used the upper bench for sleeping. People kept bothering me. The food was strange. The bathrooms were terrible. I can't believe I made it all the way to the end.
His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada explains that everyone is suffering. That covers the range of eligible beings, but there is also a time element. In each case of suffering, the duration is from beginning to end. From the time of birth, through youth, into old age, and ultimately at the dreaded end, which is compulsory. The cruel hands of death take out the living being by force. There is no second chance. There is no asking for a few minutes longer. When the time is up, everything is finished, which can be considered the greatest suffering of all. If everyone is suffering, then what is the point to an existence? Why are we here? What should we do with our time? What is the objective of our actions? Why do we have vitality if we find suffering in every corner? To even ask such questions represents a significant step. It is a leg up from the animal kind of consciousness. It is superior to merely enjoying the senses and enduring the associated consequences, which are either favorable or unfavorable. The wise human being should research into the cause of their suffering. If it started at the beginning, how do we stop the beginning? How do we prevent the timer from starting? What is the way out of the perpetual suffering? This is the purpose to spiritual life, as an explicit discipline. It is not only for avoiding a hellish existence in the unknown future. It is not just for hoping that something will be better, preying upon a more favorable outcome. Rather, practicing spiritual life can lessen the suffering. Right now. Immediately. Today, here, where I am sitting, if I give up bad association and chant the holy names of the Lord, it is like the many past mistakes no longer make a difference.
बिगड़ी जन्म अनेक की सुधरे अभी आजू हो ही राम को नाम जपू तुलसी तजी कुसमाजू. Quote, the many past births you spoiled can be rectified right now, today, if you start chanting Sri Rama's holy name and renounce bad association, says Tulsi. Dohavli, 22.
If every person is suffering, from birth until death, we can take their experiences together to conceive of a giant ocean. Who will be able to cross beyond it? We cannot even fathom the other side. It is like the ocean has no end.
देवी ही एषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया माम एव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायाम एता तरन्ति ते. Quote, this divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Lord Krishna, Bhagavad-gita, 7.14.
It is said that those who have the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead receive a special benediction. In this regard, the vast ocean of suffering shrinks to the size of a print left by the hoof of a calf. In other words, the ocean becomes so easy to cross that it can be done through an accidental stride.
समाश्रिता ये पदपल्लव प्लवं महत्पदं पुण्येशो मुरारे भवाम्बुधिर्वत् सबदन परम पदं padam padam yad vipda na tesham. Quote, for one who has accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Mukunda or the giver of Mukti, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a calf's hoofprint. Parampadam, or the place where there are no material miseries, or Vaikunt, is his goal, not the place where there is danger in every step of life. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10:14-58.
Liberation becomes a mere afterthought, since the research into the cause of suffering has led to the lotus feet of Bhagwan, who is all attractive. Since he can give liberation, he is known as Mukunda. He is the source of everything, including my transformation into a life of joy and bliss, which transcend the circumstances and the time. In closing, changing circumstances of mine, transcending even time, because his lotus feet to find, not even hardships now to mind, whether traveling in first class, or time in austerity to pass, for cause of suffering to learn, towards giver of liberation turn.